Originally, I was gonna make a video on Jet Set Radio, but after trying to record it for over 2 hours, I realized that the only things I liked about the game were the music and the spray paint customization. And I'll give it that, the music in this game is so good. If you've ever seen a League of Legends meme-tage before, you've probably heard a Jet Set Radio song. Everyone uses these songs because they're just so good. In terms of the game though, after the initial humor of the controls wore off, I was just left with this clunky game that maybe other people enjoy, but I couldn't even beat most of the levels, so I gave up. So anyway. Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg released for the Nintendo GameCube in 2003 and tells the story of a kid named Billy who, I'm not kidding about this plot, puts on a chicken suit and fights crow monsters by squishing and hitting them with eggs and weird animal crossbreeds. The plot is as weird as the concept, as a dark raven wants to hatch a giant egg to turn the world to eternal darkness, and Billy has to hatch a bunch of chicken elders out of golden eggs in order to travel to a sky palace and defeat the giant raven. Man, whoever came up with this game must be really into birds. Even though the game was praised for its visuals and gameplay style, the game sold very poorly, so Sega was reluctant to consider a sequel. So how bad or good was it? Just like Sonic Adventure 2, Billy Hatcher is one of those games I remember from my childhood as an amazing, perfect game. I used to have so much fun with this game as a kid that I decided to revisit it to see if it holds up. And boy, I thought I knew what I was getting into, but since I never actually made it to the end of the game as a kid, I had no idea what I was in for. The gameplay style of Billy Hatcher is probably its strongest point and what makes it so unique. When you play as Billy and you don't have an egg, you're literally just a little chicken. You can't do anything except run and jump, you're useless. But when you grab an egg and start rolling around, you can do a lot more. You can squish enemies, bounce jump to higher areas, and dash jump. Another one of the main mechanics of the game is hatching eggs. There are lots of different eggs in the game, and you have to collect fruit to grow them so they can be hatched. Once they hatch, you can earn power-ups and these weird animal things that you use to progress through levels and kill enemies. I mean, the animals start out normal enough with this penguin dude, but then you have a purple seal and a flying bat monkey, and what even is this thing? The eggs aren't invincible, and since you have to use them to fight enemies, if they take too many hits, they'll break. It's just really depressing when you're rolling around an egg that contains an adorable baby penguin, and it breaks after an enemy hits it. It just turns into a fried egg right in front of you. Oh my god!
I have a question for God. Why?
The game looks really good and plays really well too. Some games have clunky controls, but this one feels pretty smooth for the most part. The only issue is that some of the physics are a bit weird and the camera can get annoying at times. Granted, I'm playing this on a PS3 controller, I mean definitely playing it on the GameCube and didn't just Google Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg download. So from what I remember, I only really played the first 2 or 3 worlds of Billy Hatcher as a kid, which is probably why I thought the game was so good. It's because the first 3 worlds are good. Great music, fun levels, and bosses that aren't too hard but still manage to be enjoyable. I think that difficulty compared to fun is a thing that games struggle with sometimes. You can make a fun game that's easy, as long as you have a colorful atmosphere and entertaining gameplay. And that's what Billy Hatcher feels like. Well, until you get to the ice world, that is.
Oh, my favorite.
Do I have to say anything more than Ice World? It's often a stereotype of games that Ice Worlds are the worst because you just slide around everywhere and there's a bunch of ledges to fall off if you won't stay on the platform. Yeah, Billy Hatcher's no different. Once I hit the Ice World, I stopped enjoying the mechanics as each level felt nerve-wracking as I wondered if I was going to be able to make it through with the lives that I had. This only got worse in the Carnival World, which contained more and more challenging levels and weird mechanics. And last but certainly not least, there's the final world, the desert. The desert levels are really hard. I mean, I'm okay with hard levels in games, but at least where I can see my shadow so I can judge how far to jump. This desert world made me so angry that I'm glad I never actually got to it as a kid. You have to do these dash jumps to get across these tiny little platforms where one mistake means your death, or get past these annoying bug enemies. And to make it all worse, after I played through an entire level in the desert world and made it to the final portal, the game told me I didn't have enough courage to make it to the final boss. So it took me out of the level, and back to the menu screen, where I had to play through a bunch more boring levels, and then the entire desert level again. While I'm collecting these courage emblems, let's talk about my favorite part about this game, the multiplayer. There are multiple modes, but the only one worth playing is the deathmatch, where you try to kill your friends by running them over with your eggs or sending your animals to do your bidding. There are also special Sonic eggs that will summon characters from Sonic, and all I gotta say is they are so broken it's not even funny. I remember as a kid that whoever found the Sonic egg first basically won the match. Other than that, I don't really need to say much about the multiplayer, as the gameplay speaks for itself. Chaos Control! No, you're killing me, that's bullshit.
No!
You have an infinite. Oh dude, I just straight up killed you in one hit. What? Yeah dude, this is Sonic.
What? What? Bantam coming in hot. Come on, boy. Bam.
All I have left.
Get back here, boy.
Fuck you.
Whoosh. Oh no!
Where's your god now?
No!
Look at this shot. I'm about to just dive bomb you, dude.
Oh shit!
After the chick let me through, I played through another level and was confronted with what may be one of the worst bosses I have ever fought against in a video game, Dark Raven. The gimmick of this battle is that he puts down a bunch of purple poison circles that you can only walk over when you're rolling an egg, and the objective is to completely clear away one of them before they hurt you. Oh, and the game never tells you this, so if you try to get rid of it all, you're screwed, because if you don't do it fast enough, he just takes them back and throws them out again. And did I mention that these circles are near impossible to clear up completely? You have to roll over every single pixel, I'm not kidding. If you leave one sliver of the circle, it won't count as clean, and you'll have to survive another wave of attacks before trying again. And the whole time, this dude's just standing there! So anyway, after you finally beat this boss by getting lucky enough to clean up the circles, you aren't done yet, he transforms into his final form, a big crow. Yep. I mean, for a final form, it's not that menacing. It's just a big crow. But oh boy, if this isn't one of the most frustrating fights ever. Don't get me wrong, he only has 2 attacks, both of which are incredibly easy to dodge, but the only way to attack him is by grabbing these dark energy balls he shoots out and firing them back. The hard part is that these balls are like if you mixed quick time events with mashing a button as fast as you can, but then it's still just a random chance of whether or not you grab it or get hit.
Oh, my favorite.
What? What the fuck? I'm pressing the button!
Good morning!
Hey everyone, thanks for watching. If you're watching this video on the day it was uploaded, so December 17th, then there's a good chance I might be streaming right now. The link is in the description. And if I'm not streaming, then you should follow me anyway, because I'm starting to stream more, so yeah, that's fun. And you can also join my Discord, where I announce streams and videos and just kind of meme in the chat. It's fun and stuff. That's it. I can't say toodles, that's Frost Prime's thing.